Finding center of gravity.
Before lifting, you'll need to be sure that the load is balanced and stable. The load center of gravity is going to automatically position itself under the hook. There's not much you can do about it, so plan accordingly. Making sure that the load will be balanced and stable requires that the hook is positioned over the load's center of gravity prior to lifting. The slings must also be tight as the hook is positioned over the center of gravity. When these two things are in place, the load should come up level, and that provides much of the stability we need as we fly or move the load from point A to point B. The other advantage of knowing where the load center of gravity is located is that it provides information to let us know if we're about to overload the slings. This module's focus is to help you understand how the center of gravity, or CG, affects the way we look at rigging loads and the calculations that we need to select the correct rigging. Let's start with the objectives. That way you'll have an idea of what you'll be learning in this module. Let's start with the objectives. That way you'll have an idea of what you'll be learning in this module. After completing this module, you will be able to explain how the center of gravity affects rigging decisions and how to use the known weights formula to find a CG location. Finally, you'll use the same process to find a single combined CG where multiple load items make up one load. To set up a lift properly, it's very important to understand where the center of gravity really is. So here's a little information about the center of gravity and how to calculate it. All objects have a specific center of gravity. The center of gravity of an object is that point at which the object will balance. You could say that the weight is concentrated at this point. When rigging a load below its center of gravity, we must use a minimum of 3 slings to create stability before lifting. A load rigged above the center of gravity will be more stable and can be rigged with 1 or 2 slings if necessary, using the proper rigging points. You need to have the crane's hook over the center of gravity in order to help prevent the load moving or shifting sideways unexpectedly during the initial lift. Other factors do come into play, but finding the center of gravity's location of the load to be lifted is important for a safe lift. Here are a few ways where you may be able to find the CG's location without a lot of calculation. You can obtain the center of gravity from drawings or other documents, markings on the load, or catalogs or blueprints.